Thanks, Amanda. And now we're joined by Mayor Lori Lightfoot from Washington, D.C. The mayor attended today's bill signing ceremony in the White House Rose Garden. Mayor Lightfoot, thank you so much for joining us. First, take us behind the scenes at today's event. What happened?
Well, it was a great event. As you know, because of the pandemic, these kind of gatherings have been few and far between. And for the mayors that were there, it's the first time that we've been together since January, February of 2020, before all the pandemic-induced shutdowns happened. We've seen each other on Zooms, we've talked to each other on the phone, but it was really terrific to be able to be there in person. And for me, it was also great to be able to see many of the cabinet members, Secretary Buttigieg, Secretary Walsh, and then I had a few minutes at the end of the ceremony with Mitch Landrieu, who apparently is going to be the infrastructure czar. But it was really great to be able to see folks and talk about and make the case for why these resources are going to be so incredibly important and transformative to Chicago. Got to spend a brief moment with the vice president, which was probably the highlight of my day. But it was really inspiring to be part of such an historic event.
And as you mentioned earlier, a lot of resources coming to Chicago and Illinois in this bill. You talked about the CTA and Red Line extension to 130th. The wheels have been in motion on this for a bit. Is this project now officially a go because of this infrastructure bill?
Well, I think so. You know, we obviously have to wait and see exactly what parts of the package are going to be pure grants versus competitive grants. But the CTA is well positioned. Whichever funding stream comes to be able to take advantage of this. I have to give hats off to our various members of Congress, particularly our senior senator, Dick Durbin, Senator Duckworth, Representative Quigley, Kelly, and Krishnamurti. They've all been incredibly helpful and instrumental in making sure that we got the resources that we needed. And they were listening to what was going to be important in Chicago. Lead service lines, obviously, is another important aspect of this bill, along with the monies to build up the electric car infrastructure. Broadband is going to help the city. So there's a lot of different nooks and crannies of this bill that are going to be incredibly beneficial to Chicagoans.
Right, and speaking of that lead service line replacement for water, is $1.7 billion slated for Illinois for that project. Will there be enough money here to cover the entire cost of replacing Chicago's lead service lines? And how long is this whole project going to take now?
Well, look, it's not going to cover everything. Keep in mind that we've got the largest lead service line collection in this country, but it's going to certainly help enormously. And we're going to push to make sure that we get our fair share of those dollars from Springfield. But it's going to be enormously helpful to the work that we've already started in Chicago with the passage of last year's capital plan.
And speaking of water, I'm sure you saw that WBEZ investigation showing that Chicagoans have racked up collective $420 million in debt trying to pay off water bills or late fees for water bills. Does the city need to take a less punitive approach to fees and fines, especially considering that this report found it was impacting black communities the most?
Well, look, we knew that this was a huge issue. Before I even got sworn in during the transition, I directed the water department to stop shutting up people off from water, because I believe that water is a basic human right. In addition to that, we stood up a utility billing relief program that began in early 2020, and we just encourage people to sign up for it. We put together a customized billing plan, and after a year of consistent payment, all your old water debt is wiped away. This is a great plan, a great program. Go to the city's website, check out the water department and the Department of Finance. We want to get more people signed up so that we can get people back into service and wash away that old debt.
All right, I want to get back to some of the infrastructure highlights. You were proposing all-electric bus fleet for the CTA. Is there money in here to complete a project like that, and how long would that take?
Well, there is money to help us towards our goal of getting an all-electric fleet. There's also money to build up the electronic vehicle charging stations and the other infrastructure that's really going to be needed. Senator Durbin has really taken the lead on this for the state, and we want to make sure that we're part of the electric vehicle future. Not only is it great for the economy, but for the environment, but it'll also make sure that we've got good paying jobs and really encourage people to lower their carbon footprint by going to all electric vehicles.
Speaking of the environment, what about money for mitigation of climate change effects, flooding from the lake, flooding from heavy rain events, which Chicago seems to be seeing more and more of in recent years?
No, this is a significant issue, and there's a lot of money in this package for that as well. We've been pushing, as you know, to get the Army Corps of Engineers to continue the revetment work in the lake. The areas in our city, north and south, where the revetment work has happened, we're not seeing that kind of flooding. But we know that this is a significant challenge, and we're going to push the Army Corps of Engineers that now got millions and millions of more dollars than was initially projected to get that work done. But meanwhile, we're going to keep working with community to make sure that we're doing things to mitigate the effects of the rising lake levels and the flooding that ensues. But this is a significant step forward for us.
And Mayor, you're in Washington right now. I have to ask you about some of the breaking news of today. The FOP president, John Catanzara, he had been facing termination hearings for his job at CPD. Instead, he announces he plans on retiring rather than face being fired. Your reaction to that?
Well, it's not surprising to me at all that John Catanzara saw the writing on the wall. He has disgraced himself and disgraced the department. And I think that there was a very strong case that was going to be made against him. So it's not surprising to me that he didn't want to face accountability for his own conduct. But really, we've got to be about the future. And John Catanzara is very much a part of the past. I want to make sure that our officers, particularly those young officers, are the best trained and best protected and best supported for our police department in the country. That's what we have to be about, not somebody who's ruined his own career. I don't want to see him lead any more officers astray with his bombastic and offensive rhetoric. We've got to move forward and away from John Catanzara to the future of our department, which to me looks great. We've got a lot of work that we need to continue doing along police reform and accountability, but our officers are doing heroic work every single day, and we've got to make sure that we're fully supporting them.
Mayor, on another subject, your office has a deadline this week to respond to an IG report on the aftermath of the botched CPD raid of Anjanette Young, including actions taken by your office and some of the legal settlement talks. Do you commit to releasing that report publicly?
Well, I don't think that report is complete. And I sent a letter to the IG late last week telling them that they needed to account for their own conduct. As you may remember, the former IG in July of 19 indicated that he was going to do a full investigation of these so-called wrong raid cases, including the one involving Anjanette Young, and yet we never heard from them. And the report that came out did not hold the IG itself accountable for the fact that they had this case for almost a year and a half and did nothing. So I think in order for us to understand what happened for all of city government and to make sure that the investigation is complete, it's really important for the IG to account for its own work or lack thereof in connection with Anjanette Young and the other cases. So this investigation is not complete, and I've asked the IG to finish its work as quickly as possible, and then the city departments in the mayor's office will respond.
Well, his contention, the former IG's contention, was that he could not get the information he needed because...
That's just not true. That's just not true. That's absolutely not true.
Okay, Mayor,
not only every city department, including the mayor's office and myself personally, cooperated in the investigation. There was plenty of opportunity for the IG to do what's necessary. I don't know what happened, but I think we have to have some specific answers around why it was that they took on this responsibility in July of 19, and we didn't hear a peep from them for a year and a half until that video became public.
Mayor, I know
that to me has to be addressed.
I know you're about to catch a flight back to Chicago. I just want to ask you about REMAP. This is my last question. You know that the Black Caucus wants to keep 18 majority African American wards. The Hispanic Caucus is asking for 16 majority Latino wards. Are you going to support a map that has 18 majority African American wards?
Look, compromise is the art of our democracy. I think the president said that loud and clear today. And so members of the city council are going to have to compromise. But first and foremost, there's got to be transparency. So members of the public, particularly those areas in the city that have been carved up between 3, 4, and in some instances, 5 different wards, they've got to have an opportunity to weigh in and see a map that really reflects the lived experience of people in the city. So I'm looking forward to some transparency around the REMAP process. And we'll see what the city council does, but the public has to have an opportunity to weigh in. And I'm very mindful of the fact that the clock is ticking, and I've been following this, but we need to see a lot more transparency and real accountability to the residents of the city. We've got to live with these wards for a decade, and we've got to make sure that we correct some problems from the last couple cycles where too many of our neighborhoods were carved up and residents felt like they didn't know who to go to get answers to basic city services and questions.
I'm sorry, Mayor, go ahead and finish.
I think it's really important that we make sure that the map is reflective of what we're hearing from residents, and that residents know who their alderman is, so that they know who to hold accountable.
That's where we'll have to leave it. Mayor Lightfoot, thank you so much for joining us from Washington, and safe travels home.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.